Okay, now the whole point of a vocal warm-up, a quick vocal warm-up, is you just really want to touch base on lots of various bits of your voice. Okay, making sure that you are, if you have any anxieties about a particular part of your voice, you warm up towards that. You don't go straight for it. So you start at the very sort of the basic. Now let's start first of all with you, the person, and your body. Okay, now if you're standing and you're in your own space and no one's really watching you, if you're low energy but you just need some kind of base to work from, you must get in the zone so that you have no distractions, that you can fully concentrate on what you're hoping to achieve in a very short vocal warm-up. So start by thinking about your posture, this postural alignment, which is tricky. I think it's Debbie Ann we've got with us. Just seen your avatar up there, Debbie, welcome. So wherever you are, I'm always sitting behind the piano here, so I am very mindful that I'm sitting tall but not arching my back. I'm really feeling those sitting bones, and I try to release any kind of tension in my shoulders, and of course the jolly old neck, which is the first place I feel tension, and always at the sides here, at the sides. All right, so whatever you need to do, even while you're doing this kind of physical loosen up, okay, and it could be anything, and you're thinking about your postural alignment, that is like the alignment of your ears to shoulders, shoulders to hip, hip to knee, etc. If you're standing, if you're sitting, you just have to be mindful that you're not sitting on your pelvis, like you're actually sitting and growing from it. Okay, even while you're doing all of that, you can start to invite the air in so that you are really thinking about what's going on at the bottom half of your rib cage. You can feel the expansion and you can feel the release. And so you start to invite air in through an open mouth and just blow it away. Just do that a few times so you get the measure of that inhalation and that stretch across the back muscles. Okay, that stretch across just where your bra sits, okay, at the back there. Okay, just do that a few times, and then quite naturally, as you feel you're ready for it, just go into a breathing exercise. Now I'll give you an example so you can join in if you wish. Most important is that if you're going to do that, you start from a point of no air left at all. So you get rid of extraneous air, like this, until you've got nothing left. Get that feeling of contraction, and then till you have nothing left, contraction, release, and again. Now what you keep doing it, what you should be feeling is like a resistance factor, somewhere between like where your diaphragm is and actually your subglottic pressure, which is that kind of, you can feel it here, okay? All right, so when you've done that, you could just check in with a little bit of kind of seeing you've got that panting idea. Okay, what it should be is really even, in and out, equal. No tension developing in the torso, in the abdomen. Open throat, you feel perfectly at ease with the breath coming and going. And down here where your little floating ribs are, the lower part of your rib cage, you can feel the activity. Etc, etc. Now if you get any tension in your abs, your abdomen, the front of, you usually find that makes it very difficult and you get to a kind of point where you can't carry on. It's just part of your warm-up. Okay, so straight from there we're going to go into our lip trills just to warm our voices up, our bodies up. Okay, so we're going up and down fifths. Reason for this is it's very physical. It's physical in a good way. Okay, lip trills happen really naturally. If you can't do lip trills, rolled R's are okay. If you can't do rolled R's or lip trills, then I suggest you do a kind of v, v, which is harder. So persevere and see how you do. Last kind of resort would be to already go and do your NG hum. Like sing with the tongue high and touching the back of your tongue, touching the soft palate. Okay, all right, I'm trying to give you too much information here, so thinking of the time. All right, so here we go, a little sequence of lip trills going up and down fifths, not too slow. Here we go, ready, and here's your note. Here we go, and. Don't push air. Nice and even. Couple more. Last one. Okay, lip trills, great, fantastic, but you must not drive air or lift your chin, or notice if you're doing anything kind of physical, facially, to sort of help the pitch when you're going up. Keep it nice and even. It helps if you have a feeling that you are, as you go to do the upper one, okay, you should feel a resistance to it. It's called appoggio, where you feel like you're leaning into it. It's a very hard thing to describe. Okay, now let's jump and do octaves, this time faster. Remember, you're warming up your voice. You are your voice, your body is your voice, so it's going to feel, if you're feeling a bit lethargic, this will really sort you out. Just check for any tensions, especially in that neck, okay? And the idea being, in between each lip trill sequence, you are taking in a breath through an open throat, inviting the air into the lowest part of your lungs, and provided you have used air on the lip trill out, then your body will automatically suck in the air back, okay? So you have this little moment in between where you've reached the end, and off you go for the next one. Okay, same thing, octaves, but a little bit faster this time, remembering you're limbering up. So we're going to do it like this. Etc. Now what you want to check for is that there are no breaks in the smoothness of tone. That's what you're watching out for. If you do have that sort of little gap between quality of sound in a particular part of your voice, that's your passaggio. That's your kind of area where your voice is a little bit indistinct. You have one voice, one set of vocal folds, and it's really about learning how to gradually change the sort of thickness of the vocal fold itself, little tiny vocal folds, right? The edges come together and they meet. And when we sing low pitches, there is a certain thickness to them. And as we go higher, so a thinner part of the edge still remains in touch. See what I mean? So it's, if that breaks, that's sometimes when you get a yodel, sometimes you get a register change. So when you're doing lip trills, provided you stay connected, you're going to be fine. So here we go, octaves, ready? Quite fast, here we go, and... did make it. No, you didn't make it. It doesn't really matter. This is a warm-up, okay? Back down to the bottom note. Now we're going to do NG hums, okay? Again, it's like a piece of elastic that you're just pulling out. It's not up and down. It's either side to side or it's out in front of you. Nice piece of elastic. And again, this, everything, your jaw, your tongue, everything stays the same. The back of the tongue is up, making contact with the soft palate. Say sing. Can you do that? Okay, so you've got to hang on to that lovely looseness here. You don't want any tension in the old jaw because we get constriction then, and then that's bad news for the vocal folds. So here we go. Same exercise as the last one. Octaves, fairly swift, making you work a little bit. Remember, it's just a limbering up. It's not operatic or big sounds or anything like that. You're just touching bass. Here we go. Ready? And if you were still with me then, and I tried to speak mid one, but I just didn't make it in time, that was the top B flat, if you made it. Okay, now this is no kind of indication of your vocal, you know, prowess, because you can get those top notes. You're just warming up your voice, okay? Now, it struck me when I was having lunch that one thing we don't do is we don't do it the other way around. So let's, in F major, let's start on the top. And let's see how you do, because it's like, now what was I just saying? If you always get used to doing things in a certain order, there's a little bit of, I don't mean complacency that settles in, but if it's changed up, it really rattles our cage, right? So by doing it down and up, you might find there are a few little gremlins come out to say hello. So we're in F major, so if you've got a sort of mezzo-y voice, you might find this a tad high to start with, but imagine you're making the sound. This is your warm-up. Think about your posture. Okay, here we go. Now old air out. Here's your pitch. I'm going to do descending an octave and going back up. Here we go. Ready? And sliding. Last one. Okay, how did you do? That was the bottom F. All right, now for those of you with that kind of range, probably found that you were coming home. That was the F below middle C. Okay, now I found that unsettling, so I'm sure you did too. But you know, good thing about warm-up is you should kind of try to mix it up a bit and see how your voice reacts, okay? So where have we got to? We're thinking about posture all the time. We've done lip trills, we've done breathing, lip trills, and now we've done the NG hum. One more thing to do on the old NG hum, very aware that we're just about halfway. We want to get to vowels today, okay, is to just do the 10th. Nice and slow, so you really get a chance to kind of feel that no, I don't want to use the word stretch, the link between the lower part of your voice to the 10th above. Sophie's just said easier than going up, less likely to push. Yes, Sophie, but I would question if you're coming down, how much do you drop into your passaggio as that goes on? Knowing your voice, how much did you drop? It's very easy to kind of plonk down and then find it harder to get back up. So that's the exercise where you start at the top and you go down. Okay, all right, so let's just carry on for the moment. So where did I get to? Yes, tenths. It's slower, but really making sure you connect everything within and you keep everything nice and controlled and relaxed here, okay? Tongue, if anything, very, very relaxed at the front of the mouth, but the back of the tongue is high and is touching the soft palate. You know the test to make sure you are really doing an If you're doing an and you pinch your nose, the sound will stop. Okay, so here we go, up tenths. Lovely, lovely matched sound bottom to top. Here we go, ready, and be careful here, just the top passaggio. A couple more. Just touch the top sound. Last one. Okay, so that actually was a top B. So if you're with me for a top B, not bad. We had some nice comments coming in. Sophie had said that she found it easier coming down than going up. She's less likely to push. And Debbie Ann also agreed. She said, I felt it was easier going down as well. That's an interesting thing, isn't it? Okay, just note to self here. Suze, I always visualize a yo-yo and I find it makes it easier to bounce back up again. Yeah, one analogy I used to give when teaching is that it's like sitting on the edge of something and you're fishing. You throw a fishing line down and then you just pull it back up again. Okay, so each to their own. Okay, so how are you feeling vocally now? Now we're going to go into the realms of vowels. So I did ask earlier what people felt they wanted from this particular afternoon warm-up, and Suze specifically asked if we could think about the vowel sequences, because we've taken it very gradually over the last 3 vocal warm-ups, just kind of reigniting, reminding people about what vocal warm-ups can be. You can make up a lot of things actually just to warm up your voice, so have some fun. Mostly we are after finding our energy, not driving our voices, our personal energy, not driving our voices. My fringe is very long, gets in the way, needs a trim. Okay, so now vowel sequences: e, e, a, o, u, e, e, a, o, u. And it's really what you're doing with your tongue. Okay, we don't want too much activity with these bits of your muscles. There's a big strong muscle that goes all the way around there, which we want to keep under control. Well, actually we want it to not do anything. So we want to use our imaginations for which vowel we're going for, which order. E, so small aperture, E, watch the tongue, A, O, oo. And the O and the oo, you're trying to encourage your tongue to come forward more in the mouth rather than back, because we don't want the root of the tongue, which really sits just in the back of your throat there, just as this is the root of your tongue. It comes down and joins the larynx, and if that muscle, the bulk of it is called the genioglossus, and it's a very strong muscle. We use it all the time. It can really make your larynx ride high and you feel very constricted there. Okay, so by encouraging in these vocal warm-up exercises your tongue to ridiculously come forward on the O and the U, just over your teeth, you're kind of encouraging the root of the tongue to kind of just stay nice and relaxed. Really important in a vocal warm-up, okay? We do meet it in songs, in how we enunciate words and things like that. So it's as well to be, this is one of your tools that you do need to be aware of. Okay, so starting down here, we're going to do what I call the incremental exercise, okay? Which is this one, if I play it in B flat. And it sounds like this. And it also, by keeping your tongue forward, it encourages a nice open feeling here. But, you know, this is just a warm-up, not a technique session. Vocal technique sessions are different to warm-ups, okay, where there's much more detail. So, see how you go. Let's have a whirl, shall we? And we'll go do a few of these, and then we'll have some fun and do the whole octave. Are you ready? Here we go. I give it a whirl. Still starting in B flat major, so just below middle C. Here we go. Ready? Think about your postural alignment and imagine the breath coming in. Here we go. And just a few more. Last one. Okay, so that's all very middly in the middle of your range, nothing too taxing. Now, mentally, we're going to do more, of course, and we're going to do the whole octave like that. So you do the sequence of vowels that I've been teaching you. That's all of them. Then so you come back down in mirror image. Okay, basically you're going from small aperture to wide aperture and then back down again, like a very slow and that's because that progression gets you to use every single step of the difference between vowels without big changes, so it's nice and smooth. All right, am I missing any? No, I'm not. Okay, let's give it a whirl. If in doubt, that's okay, Debbie. See you again. Okay, thanks for joining us. Now, if you get confused, opt for a vowel that you like, okay? But the incremental exercise, keep it the same. Here we go, ready? And last one. Okay, all right, so the top note there was a G. If that felt okay, good. It's a longer exercise, so you might find that you're frightened of running out of air. There's a lot going on. You saw me pulling my face forward a lot. That's because, just to remind myself, because obviously I'm looking at myself, to really keep these muscles forward and not get this spread wide, which I hardly ever do anymore. But it's great to remind myself because it makes me think about my tongue coming forward. All right, so that's the incremental exercise. Now, last time I think we did do, okay. Join in with me now, and okay, you get the gist. We did that exercise last time. What that does is that because you have to keep repeating that top note, it makes you really work hard at maintaining your general sort of position. If you've arrived at the top part and you feel that it's tight here, you need to go back to the drawing board. And what you can do then in a warm-up is totally revert to your lip trills. Do the whole exercise like this. Because it's going to kind of recalibrate your body, your energy, to help you do it better. Now I want to give you just a little kind of soupçon before we finish. Remember, this is a warm-up, so we are not going to cool down at this point. Hopefully after this warm-up you might feel like going to sing something, get into some music, so that we've warmed up to a point. But if, however, you want to cool down, you can do descending lip trills, remember? But I'm going to assume today that you're going to go on, do some singing, even if it's just like 15 minutes, get out a song, have a go. All right, so what we're going to do now is another exercise using the vowel sequence, the same, E, E, R, or oo, but we're going to do the exercise we just did, which is E, rather than just going ah, we are now going to do E, oh. So we're going to take it up and over the top to the 10th. So where are we? Actually, it's more than the 10th. Yeah, it's more than the 10th. There's the 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Okay, it's just going to stretch you, and then you come down in an arpeggio. All right, now, you saw me doing this with one hand just now. This is kind of like within virtually vocalese, when we talk across, you know, the ether like this. This means keep everything really balanced, no ups and downs, everything balanced, and with a feeling of kind of like a resistance. Okay, and I like your plan, Suze. You're going to sing after this. Fantastic. Okay, are you getting the Mozart out, I wonder? Okay, that we spoke about. All right, that's for Friday, yeah? Okay, so it's going to be the same sequence. No dropping off, just carrying absolutely on your energy. See how you do. Ready? And here's your starting note. Check your alignment, check your energy, thinking happy, bright thoughts, because we need our risorius muscles, which are the ones that go from the corner of our mouths up here, make us think, have bright expressions. Okay, all right, I've just seen your message come in, Sue Louie, so I will come back to that in just a tick. Okay, all right, so here we go, ready? Try the exercise with me. Good, you've been having a look at the Italian of the voi che sapete, huh? Okay, here we go, ready? Starting note, E, here we go, and E, O, E, O, E, O, E, one. Last one. Top B flat. Did you make it? Okay, now slightly more detailed vocal warm-up this time. And Sue Louie, I just saw your comment. Oh, those oohs. Funny, I find them difficult at the end of an exercise, but they're easier in the middle of the sequence. Okay, now is that because the oohs, when they're at the end, they are low in your voice? And the oohs are okay if they're in the middle of a sequence and it's high. Okay, so think about that. Just think about where the oohs, because I know you have an issue with your ooh, whether or not it's actually as you come down into the lower part of your voice or not. Okay, folks, we are eating up the seconds now, and I did promise to keep this to a 30 minutes-ish session. Hope you've enjoyed it. I can't believe it, but next week will be the last one in this series of taster sessions. I'm generally assessing everything, as I hope you are too. Be careful with those voices. Go and have a good sing now. Do something, and I'll see you on Friday for the showcase hour. Thank you very much for your time. Look after those voices, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.